All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're in Bloomsfield, Iowa with Homesteaders of Iowa. Awesome group of homesteaders that are a lot further along in this journey than me. They're having an event the 4th, 5th, and 6th of April in Fork Lake Camp, where we're at right now. For more information on that, check in the description. I'll have everything linked below. Now it's $35 and it's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Thursday and Friday go from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Saturday is 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yeah, these are the founders of the event, and this is the second year, right, guys?
Yes.
Yep. We're going to go ahead and start with Randy. I know he's excited, so.
Yeah, right.
We'll start with Randy. Just tell us a little bit about maybe yourself and how this all got started, really.
Well, the name's Randy Spears, and along with my wife, we operate Spears Bee Farm, where we offer bee supplies and bees themselves. And I guess homesteading something we just kind of grew up doing and just part of our lifestyle anymore.
What about you, Linda?
Okay, I'm Linda Spears, Randy's wife, and yeah, we do Spears Bee Farm. Randy does some dirt construction and with bulldozers and such, and I've been a master gardener. I kind of let that go because I'm so busy with homesteading that I don't have time for some other things. So you just have to make choices.
All right, now Teresa.
I'm Teresa Ott. Sean and I are the managers here at the Forest Lake Camp. And I also am the program director, the kitchen manager. I'm a homeschool mom, and we're homesteaders together. And it's all a joint effort, so.
My name is Sean Ott. Met my wife, Teresa. We have 2 sons, Daniel and Matthew. We have 2 other older children that live out of the house. This whole homesteading thing started for us a few years back, and it was amazing how God implemented this whole entire Expo. This was all decided under a hickory tree in our front yard with Randy, Linda, Teresa, myself, sitting in a lawn chair drinking iced tea, I think it was, and started with bees. I think we'd bought some bees from Randy and Linda. They were over here. I don't know what we were doing. It's been too long ago. But how that all instrumented and started. And I'm thankful for this. Myself, I wear 3 hats besides being a father and a husband. I'm manager of this camp. I am a pastor at Cedar Community Church up in Cedar, Iowa. Plus, my wife and I and my sons have opened up a business that is now Ott's Predator Control, where we go out and we catch unwanted pesky animals that you just don't want around your property, that destroy your your livestock to your garden. And then we homestead. Our family has a really big goal that is, with God's help, we're going to get to that goal. That's enough about me.
Yeah, so Linda, could you provide an overview of what attendees can expect from the Homesteaders of Iowa Expo here in next month?
Yes, we have speakers. There are 33 different speakers doing 36 unique classes, and some of them are repeating their classes, so if you missed it the one day, you might be able to catch it the next day. And so there are a total of 77 classes. Right now we have 25 vendors booked, and they'll be either in the gymnasium or out in a tent or a truck or something of that sort. Outside, we will have food. The Cedar Church ladies are going to bring some food, and that'll be served out of our kitchen. And then we'll have some vendor trucks. What we really want everybody to do is network with other homesteaders. Basically, the reason we started this, because we want people to be able to help each other. If you know something, then you share that. If you need to know something, then someone else shares with you. And this year we've added discussion groups for our noontime, where you go get your food and you take it to one of the classrooms and you sit down in a discussion group where we have panelists, maybe 1, 2 to 5 people on a topic or different topics that you can just ask your questions directly to them. You don't have to sit in a class to get your questions answered. So we have quite a bit going, so please come and join us.
Yeah, awesome. And again, it's 9 a.m. to 7 Thursday and Friday and 9 to 6 on Saturday. But Randy, what inspired the creation of this event or expo, and how has it evolved since you started it?
Yeah, I think Sean kind of alluded to that, but he gave me a call a couple of summers ago. He wanted us to come down and visit with him, and of course we did. And he shared his vision he had and the reasons he thought it might be a good idea to share knowledge and learn from other people. So we kind of bounced ideas off each other for a while, and as time went along, we realized it'd probably be a good idea to have an event like we're talking about here, the Expo, with the classes so people could learn from each other and increase their knowledge. It just grew. We had our first Expo last year, and I thought it went over really well for the first time, but I think this year is going to be even a better Expo with more to do and more classes.
All right, Teresa, can you share some details about where we're at, the location, and the setup of the Expo grounds?
So we are located about 10 miles south of Ottumwa on Highway 63, and then you're going to turn onto Copperhead Road and go about a mile down east on Copperhead Road. Or if you're coming from Bloomfield, we're about 18 miles north of Bloomfield, and then you turn on Copperhead Road, and like I said, a mile. And then how we envision that the grounds are going to be set up is this room where we're at right now will be one of the classrooms. And then the gym, which is also in this main lodge building, will be where the vendor hall is. And then we will have some classrooms set up in tents, which I think the plan is they're going to be in the backfield behind the lodge. And so there'll be 3 classrooms there. And then out front of the building, over by the playground area, there's going to be some people set up with their tents that'll be teaching some things, skills there, and also maybe have some things possibly for sale that they have in their tents. And then if you continue on the main road here through the camp, you'll pass by the cabins, and then there's a chapel building. There'll be a few classes in that building. In the basement of that building will be where a lot of the hands-on classes will be held.
Well, guys, if you're watching this, I get a lot of people reaching out to me, actually, that are homesteaders. I got 2 or 3 right now. And if you're watching this, make sure to reach out to us. We love helping people move, not just in the Cedar Rapids area, but all across of Iowa. So make sure to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd love to help you make that smooth move to Iowa. But Sean, could you highlight some of the key attractions and activities that will be available to attendees during the 3-day expo?
We've got so many good classes. You take a look at the list, we go from a broad range from solar to chickens to gardening to blacksmithing. And he's, how old's our son? 15. He's 15. He makes knives. He makes trinkets and things.
Is he going to be selling them?
Probably.
Yeah, cool.
To foraging. One of my highlights for it is I'm looking forward to learning more about bees, becoming more self-sufficient. So many things are beneficial. I lean on Randy a lot because I'm learning bees and knowledge. We share knowledge back and forth on how to do this. This is what homesteaders need to be doing. Nothing wrong with YouTube, but you don't get that hands-on when you get to sit across the table with somebody with a cup of coffee and say, all right, tell me what I need to do here. Look at what I'm doing. And such foraging, going out. If you don't know what you're getting and you just grab something and you start eating it, you might be getting something that's going to hurt you, and it's going to hurt you bad.
Yeah.
I have a gentleman coming in from Illinois. His name's Scott. He's going to help with it. That man knows 10 times more than what I know.
Yeah.
I know enough that we go out and we forage. We call it God's grocery store. God gave us everything that we need, not what we want, but what we need, found right in them woods. And highlights of that. But the biggest thing I want to encourage everybody is network. Network and work together for the homesteading community, for one common goal. Because when something happens, I miss them old days when people had a crisis in their life. Your neighbors came together. They worked together. They helped each other out. Today, how many of us really know our neighbors?
Not enough.
So that's my highlights.
Absolutely. I mean, that is what it's about. That's why if I can get down here, I'm gonna, because it is important to network. That's the whole point of this entire interview, is to have people come and come to the event and just meet awesome people like I just met these 4 today. So very thankful for that. Now, Randy, what are some of the unique workshops or demonstrations that attendees can participate in?
Okay, we have a young man, which is Matthew, and he is 15, like John said. But he's going to be, one of the things he'll be showing is something called flint knapping. And I don't know a lot about it, but he's able to sharpen the right kind of a rock in such a way that it makes it sharp, and they can use it for knives or arrowheads. Indians used to do it that way anyway, was what I understand it. He'll be able to explain it much better. He's also going to show how to weld, or forge weld, I guess is what it's called. And that's, of course, just with a fire instead of electric welder. And we have a new girl coming, Pineapple Jameson, I guess is her name, and she's a reenactor. But one of the things she will be doing is showing how to make candles. And she's going to let attendees make their own candles. So that's going to be kind of a hands-on approach, which everybody likes to do that. You can learn about something, but if you can actually do it,
Yeah, absolutely.
it sinks in better. We're going to have a guy talk about pruning and grafting trees, fruit trees. And I know there's several of them. I don't think we have any dull classes at all.
No.
So it's going to be interesting in a lot of different areas.
Absolutely. Now, Linda, can you tell us about some featured speakers and vendors that will be present at the Expo that you're excited about?
Well, some of our sponsors are also vendors, and so we have Murray McMurray Hatchery. They're going to bring chickens so that you can actually hold a baby chick. There's your hands-on again. Premier One Supplies is, he has that electric fence that is just a woven wire, and if you watch very much homesteading YouTubes, you're going to see that fence here, there, and everywhere. We were watching one in Idaho, I think so, where they took goats and they'd fence them in around a walkway or a waterway, and where they couldn't mow, they'd take the goats in there and they would trim the grass.
That's
So,
cool.
but they were using that fence. We saw that fence there, so, you're gonna be able to see it and touch it and ask questions. We also have Feeder's Grain, and she's going to be bringing a freeze dryer. And so if you have questions on freeze dryers, you can ask her. Of course, Sean and his predator control, and us and we'll be a vendor with our Spears Bee Farm. We will have an observation hive, which means that it's going to have glass in it, and you'll be able to see the bees and the queen walking
Wow.
around. So
That's cool.
I think it's too early for drones, or we would have a jar of drones that you could actually put in your hands.
Wow.
If we can find them, we'll bring them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Anyways, guys, you can tell this event's going to be absolutely awesome, but make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell so you're notified each time we come out with a new video. It really helps push not just this video, but their event, so make sure to do that and hit that like button especially. But Teresa, how does the Homesteaders of Iowa Expo foster a sense of community among attendees?
Well, I think that, we have our Facebook group that currently has 5,000 members, but, there's a lot of networking goes on there, and you hear a lot of times people wanting to meet people or find people in their own area. And I think this is a great opportunity for people to meet other homesteaders
Yeah.
and to just network with people, maybe find people in their own area that way.
All right, Sean, can you share any success stories or memorable experiences from the last year's Expo that illustrate the impact of this event on the homesteading community in really all of Iowa?
The networking,
Yeah,
people coming together. I mean,
something from the past Expo or just
well, for
Facebook group, it doesn't
the
matter.
Facebook group, the past Expo. I've had a lady from up at Fort Dodge contact us several times talking about foraging and wanting knowledge, and that's what we all should be doing is using your resources to help me, and then in return giving some resources from me to give to you to help you. But them are highlighted thoughts. You get phone calls or emails of people saying, hey. But the biggest thing, highlight I will say, is the friendships. I mean, you take a good look at Randy, Linda, Teresa, and myself. We would have never met. And their friendships. To be quite frank, how God illustrated a tiny bee to grow to a family. To a family that not always do we see eye to eye. Not always do we like what the other one says. But no matter what, we're still a family. And we work together. We help each other. It doesn't matter how busy we are, we stop for one another when that person calls or somebody tries to reach out. That's what all homesteaders should be doing. That is the highlight for all of this. And then meeting new people. You know, there's a couple from up at Pella that reached out to us this fall and said, hey, we're deer hunting. If we get a deer, can you help us process it? Why, sure. We'll help you. Do whatever we got to do to help you get this meat processed up. The other highlight is last year's Expo, 71-day tornado went within 3 miles of this place. And you could hear it. The pressure was so bad at one place that it was pulling the water back up out of the drain. How God protected this Expo. He had his hand upon it to say, and I go back to God a lot because he does protect his people. In that tornado, we had no downed tree limbs in our camp, and there should have been. We live in a camp that is full of trees that like to bust constantly. Nothing was damaged. Yeah. Nobody was hurt. And them are things that I look at and go, wow, you can't tell me that was just a coincidence. That don't happen that way. And I keep going back. In this next 3-day Expo, if you don't network with somebody, it's your own fault.
Yeah.
Pick each other's brains, learn from one another.
I'm excited about this event, and I'm just excited about meeting everyone here. You know, it's a blessing to me. My wife and I just started our journey. I mean, we know some stuff, but not enough, and that's the beauty of this entire thing. Is like he said, I have a friend that's going to help me process a deer and a turkey this year, so I'm excited about that. But anyways, Randy, what efforts are made to ensure that attendees have opportunities to network and connect with like-minded individuals?
Well, I hope everybody's like-minded to come here. But we're going to have a panel discussion each day at noon, where we'll have some of our experts, some of the teachers and so forth, presenters. We'll sit at a table and let the audience ask questions that maybe they didn't get answered or didn't have a chance to ask during the classes.
Nice.
It's going to be something that I think our questionnaire last year, people wanted to see something like that. So we're going to provide that for them. Our vendors out here, there'll be a lot of various people there that can answer questions too. So attendees can walk down along the tables and ask questions or buy some products, whatever they want to do that way. But our instructors are very knowledgeable and approachable. So don't be afraid to grab somebody and ask your question.
Yeah. All right, Linda, could you provide some details about ticket prices, registration, and any special considerations for attendees?
Okay, the ticket price is $35 for adults, 18 and older. It's $17 for children from 11 to 17, and under 11, 10 and under are free. We'd like for you to go online and actually purchase the free ticket.
Yeah.
You know, it won't cost you anything, but if you have young children, we want to know how many are coming so we can prepare. We have vendors that need to know how much food to prepare,
Yeah.
And if we need an extra vendor, we need to go out and get it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
So those are the reasons why we want advance tickets, so we can make this the best experience that we can make for you. So what was the rest of the question?
Any other special considerations? Maybe like a question I'd have possibly if I'm like in Northwest Iowa, is there a place to stay? People aren't going to be familiar with the area necessarily.
We had cabins and RV spots, but all of those are booked already.
Yep.
Ottumwa has several hotels, and if you go on our website, and I used Google to make the website, so it's kind of complicated.
And it'll be in the show notes. So
Yeah, it's sites.google.com/view/homesteaders-of-Iowa/home.
yeah.
Got that?
Yeah. Remember that.
So, but if you just Google Homesteaders of Iowa Expo 2024, it goes right to it. So
Or join the group.
yeah,
you know?
join the group,
Yep.
and it'll be there. So we are going to be throwing out another thing. If I know there are people in Iowa who like to boondock, and what that means is you have an RV or a pickup camper or a tent or something like that, and you don't need to be hooked up to electricity or water. And we have spots for that. We'll be putting more information about that on our Facebook page. And if you look on Facebook for Homesteaders of Iowa, you should find it. So we have lots of things, lots of things, and we'll help you. If you can't find anything, just email me at homesteaders.iowa@google.
Or put in the group. People are gonna have the same questions. So
Yeah.
if you're viewing this and you got questions, just post it on there.
Yeah,
Anyone in the group, including mostly you four, but I'm sure other people will help out too. You know. So.
right. Yeah, there might be other people around that say, oh, I know this thing. And
Yeah.
you might know people in the area that you can just come in and camp in their house.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
So,
Yep. All right, Teresa, can you share some tips for attendees to make the most of their experience at the Homesteaders of Iowa?
Well, I would just say, you know, if you're a homeschooling family, I encourage you, bring your kids. Don't leave them at home because there's so much knowledge. Like our kids, I homeschool. They will not have traditional homeschool at all that week because there's so much. I will require them to attend some classes, and then, you know, and they will be able to pick what those classes are. And then, you know, there'll be an assignment, a writing of some sort about how they can prove what they learned in that class. Because we've talked about our son that is 15 that does the blacksmithing and all this stuff. He very much wants to be a homesteader himself someday, and I think that's a goal for him. So he will pick and choose what he thinks he needs to learn. But I encourage you, bring your kids. This is a family event, and I would just say, you know, be open-minded, be positive about it. Just have a good time. Come with the positive mindset that you're going to have fun. You're going to learn this weekend with us, and you know, just kind of have an idea in your head what classes you want to go to. But you know, if there's a class that's full, have another one in mind that you might want to go. And like Linda had said, you know, some of these classes are repeated, or join the discussion group and maybe you can just find out your information there. Just be open-minded and positive about the experience.
Absolutely. All right, Sean, last question before we wrap it up and kind of get final thoughts, but we kind of covered this, but maybe you can go into more detail. The accommodations or facilities available for those attending from out of town.
You know, like Linda said, hotels that are going to be available to us. You get here and you're just having trouble, and you know, some people can't walk as far. We're going to do our best to make that accommodation for you. It's like I'm going to be doing a foraging class. I'm not going to make everybody tromp all over the woods, trying to highlight certain areas that are easy accessible to get in, see things, you know, and then not have to walk from here to the end of the camp.
Yeah.
Just make it accessible. We have handicap bathrooms here at the camp, inside the building, and in the cabins. The key to renting or getting into a cabin for next year, book early. If you wait to the last minute, you're not going to get it. There's nothing, you know, the cabins and all the RV spots were booked in February pretty much. So that's a key for everybody to be thinking about next year.
All right, maybe we'll just stay with you, unless you want to give it to Randy. Closing thoughts for each one of you. What you the entire discussion, anything you got to add.
Come, be a part of this. You're going to learn something. You're going to walk away from here with some knowledge, be open-minded, but come and learn and make friends. And I'm telling you, I'm going to brag a moment, but these ladies from my church that are cooking, I didn't get looking this way by not eating their food. Home cooked meals are really good. So, and I don't know much about the other vendors. I do think we've got the barbecue. Oh yes.
And tacos.
Are they coming? So the barbecue guys, I've had them before. Yes.
Yeah.
But tacos, I don't know. I've never ate that Hirsch yet. So come and try them. What do you know? You might like them. This expo is going to be awesome, knowledgeable, and when the four of us from two spectrums can come together for one common goal, nothing's impossible.
I just like to say, you know, I'm really excited that we've got such an amazing lineup this year. I mean, we've got so many new exciting classes. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to manage to attend them all and still be, you know, am I going to have to hire somebody to do my job? That way I can, but you know, there's so many things I'm excited about like Randy had talked about, the lady that's going to be making candles, Pineapple Jameson. I'm excited about that because I've attempted that so many times myself, and it just doesn't ever turn out. So I'm excited to get to learn that from somebody that has that knowledge. And there's just so many classes. I want to learn about the making the body products and more about like selling at farmers market, because like we said, our end goal is to eventually become full-time homesteaders. Right now we're just gleaning as much knowledge and skill, and we do put those things to practice in our life, but currently we live and run a camp, so it's not the same as having your own homestead, but we're gleaning as much knowledge. So I'm excited to meet new people and get more knowledge from these people.
I've been talking to a lot of people. I'm kind of the go-to, and so I've been getting emails, I've been getting Facebook messages and everything, so I'm helping people, and I'm kind of getting to know them, and I'm really anxious to meet them all, to put a face, to the name, and ask them questions about themselves, because I like to know about people. I'm a people person, so, and I want to go to some of the classes. Being in a vendor situation is kind of hard to get out and actually experience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just real excited. I can't
Do you
wait.
want to go through the business one last time? Because I think it's important. Support these businesses. I want to make sure that we have them covered again.
Yeah, it wouldn't be possible to have this expo without our sponsors. Murray McMurray Chicken Hatchery. Ginger and I talked for probably 2 hours. we had a lot in common, but they were our first one to step up and say, we want to help you. None of this is one person. It's everybody working together. We're a team. And then she brought in Premier One Supplies. She says, wherever we go, Joe goes.
Yeah.
So we're so happy. And those two were on the exiting questionnaire from last year. They said, why don't you have McMurray Hatchery? Why don't you have Premier One Supplies?
Yeah.
I said, okay, we'll go after them.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, and they're real happy to support us because they go everywhere, all over the country, to homesteading things, except Iowa. And they were real excited that something was starting in Iowa.
Yeah.
And Erica Lance of Feeders Grain, she says, I want to be a part of this too. She's in Corning, Iowa, and that's, another section of the state that isn't covered by a lot of other things that we have here. So that is good to have her coming from that part of the state. We have a potential one. I'm going to go ahead and name him, Greg Rojas from Redfish Electric and Solar. He just got done doing an off-grid solar install. So that's just right what we need.
Yeah, absolutely.
and he has all kinds of ideas of how you can get started for a lower amount, and I'm just really happy to have him on board too. He'll be here as a vendor, and he may be setting up part of our electricity to go into our classrooms. So,
That's awesome.
So that's just really awesome. And we can't forget Sean and his predator control. You got predators, call Sean.
Yeah.
Need bees, call Randy. So,
Yeah.
okay.
And then Randy, you get a
I think what's exciting to me anyway is seeing the interest people have been showing about this event. I've seen people talk about getting together with family and friends, saying, let's all go together, go down to this camp and the expo and spend the 3 days, kind of like a fair maybe. It's nice to see people interested in that. They get excited and we get excited about it, and we try even harder. We put all of us have put together a lot of time and effort into this event, and I don't see how it can't be interesting for about anybody that comes. We invite everybody to come.
Yeah, and I'll kind of wrap this up. I did a video on fishing in Iowa. Make sure to watch that. But what I really want to talk about is we're going to have a part 2 on this. We're going to go even more into detail on this event because it's so special that one video is really not going to do it. I know this is going to be a long video, but if you're this far, I'm pretty sure you're pretty interested in homesteading, which is awesome. But we're we're going to do part 2. Make sure to look out for that. And thanks for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Thanks.